beautiful way to set up our morning. Let me just quickly adjust the view on my phone and we'll get started. Here we go. Okay, so this morning we are going to start in a seated position. And I thought that this morning is a great time to introduce our mantra into our morning yoga practice. And the importance of mantras and the benefits of mantras is it just starts to allow us to really tune into our body and to start to create our reality with the thoughts that we think. So to begin with, we're going to sit in a comfortable position, just placing our hands on our knees and closing down our eyes. We're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose, just noticing how our body is feeling and holding slightly at the top, and a nice long exhalation through the mouth. Beautiful. And again, deep breath in through the nose, just really allowing the oxygen to start to fill up into the belly. And a nice long deep exhalation through the mouth. Again, one last inhale here. 3, 2, 1. Hold and exhale. Beautiful work. Just keeping our eyes closed and coming back to our normal breath. Tuning in to how our body is feeling this morning. Noticing the depth of our breath. It may be feeling quite shallow. Maybe feeling a little bit short. It may be quite long. Just bring our awareness to our breath. Now placing both of our hands over our heart center. And in just a moment, I'm going to be repeating our mantra, which is 3 words. And my invitation is for us to repeat this mantra in our mind as we set our intention for our yoga practice this morning. This mantra is going to allow us to connect further in with our body. And the mantra for this morning, as we set our intention for our yoga practice, is I am love. So as we're breathing deeply into our heart space and repeating this mantra, I'm just going to read out a short scripture. Keeping our eyes closed and repeating this mantra in our mind. Love is the strongest force in the universe. This mantra is here to remind us of our uniqueness and that we are made up of light and love. Always remember we contain an infinite supply of love within us. Keep our eyes closed, placing our hands over our heart, and feel the floodgates of love pouring in. Love is who we are and why we exist. It's really allowing us to breathe into this space this morning. Holding this as our intention. Repeating this in our mind throughout our practice when we remember. Taking one last breath here. And slowly opening our eyes. We're going to come into our child's pose position and start off our morning practice. And really opening up through our hips and underneath our arms and into our shoulders. So toes are together, knees are spread, taking a deep breath into the belly, and as we exhale, just walking the hands out in front of us, allowing our head to rest on the mat. Taking a deep breath in here into the belly, and just feeling the belly expand into the tops of the thighs. And as we exhale, holding that mantra, and allowing our hips to sink in towards the heels. Again, deep breath into the belly, feeling the belly rise, the chest. And as we exhale, just slightly walking our fingers forward towards the end of the mat, And drawing those shoulder blades down into the back of the hip sockets. And just allowing the chest to soften. Get another deep breath into the nose, into the belly. One last breath here. See how much we can allow the hips to just release and let go of any tension in our lower back, inner thighs. Beautiful, guys. You're doing great. On the next inhalation, we're going to slowly move our body weight forward with our hands directly underneath the shoulders and our knees under the hips into our tabletop position. We're going to come into our cat-cow. So with our spine neutral, pushing our shoulders away, we're going to slowly start to tilt the pelvis up as we're creating a nice U shape through the spine, opening up through the heart. As we exhale, tucking the pelvis down under, bringing our navel into the top of the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, rolling the spine down, opening up through the chest. Exhale, tilting the tailbone under, pressing the navel up into the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, deep breath in here, rolling the spine down. Curling one vertebrae up at a time, opening up through the heart. Exhale, tucking the tailbone under, pressing up through all 5 points of the fingers. Beautiful. Coming at our own pace now. Inhale to open, just allowing the body to move how it wants to move, opening up through all of the vertebrae. Now exhale to roll down. You may want to do a few side body twists in here. Inhale to open. Beautiful. Exhale, curling chin to chest. Let's do one more now. Inhale, opening up through the heart, pointing through the toes. Exhale, let's come back into our tabletop position. Beautiful, right, guys. I'm going to come into a nice, gentle thoracic spinal twist. So placing the weight into the left hand of the body, ensuring we're not putting unnecessary pressure on the left wrist. As we inhale, we're going to allow our hips to stay square and parallel to the mat and open up through the side body, just allowing the right hand to come as far as we can, not pushing it towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, we're going to lower the hand back down towards the ground. We're going to shift the weight onto the right side of the body. Inhale, open up through the left side of the chest. Exhale, slowly coming back down. Beautiful. We're going to go through this at our own pace. Inhale to open. Exhale to lower. And again, inhale to open, other side. Exhale to return back to center. Beautiful. Let's do a few more per side. Inhale to open. Exhale to lower down. Just noticing where we may be feeling tight. And sending our breath into the center of the rib, the thoracic spine. Let's do one more on the left side. Inhale to open. And exhale to lower. Perfect. And let's sit back into our child's pose and bring our awareness back to our breath. Breathing deeply here. Finding our center, finding our stillness. And at any time throughout our practice, remember this is our safe zone where we can come back to our child's pose to rest, catch our breath. Or we may just want to stay here for the whole practice. Our practice is uniquely designed for us. And throughout today, we're going to be exploring some new poses that we haven't done before. And I'm going to be giving some alterations. Before we get into that, I'm just going to quickly put my laptop on charge. We're just going to stay in our child's pose position now. And just breathing deep into our belly. And exhale, allow the body to relax and soften. Beautiful. Inhale, allowing our body to move forward into our tabletop position. Tucking our toes under now. As we exhale, we're going to press the hips away from us as we allow the thighs to come nice and close to the chest into our first downward dog. And just walking the dog now. One of my favorite sayings in yoga practice, just walking out the dog. Allowing the hamstrings to open up. The eyes are gazing at the big toes, pressing through all 5 points of the fingers and creating space between the shoulder blades by turning our elbows and shoulders out. And just holding here now, bending the knees slightly if we need to, and pressing up the hips high towards the sky. Taking one last breath here. On our next inhale, we're going to bring our eyes up to the top of the mat, bending the knees. As we exhale, we're going to step the feet to the front of the mat, and we're going to come into our forward fold. We're just allowing our hands to soften, our head to soften, returning back to our breath and our mantra for today's practice. Feeling the love cultivating throughout the whole body on every inhale. Noticing the tightness in the hamstrings start to soften. Bringing both of the hands to our monkey grip on the outside of the elbows. Just going to sway side to side in our elephant swing, allowing the hips to move freely. Allowing the head to rest. We may want to lightly lift our head up and down, side to side, just freeing up intention. On the next exhale, we're going to allow our hands to relax down towards the ground. Inhale, we're going to come, bringing our hands up into the shins, drawing the shoulder blades down and back into our halfway lift. Exhale, allowing the body to soften. Inhale deeply, hands on the shins, knees, or hugging the elbows into the body. Halfway lift, draw the shoulders down and back. Exhale to soften. Beautiful. One more here. Inhale, halfway lift, creating that flat back as best as possible. Eyes neutral. Exhale to soften. Inhale, bend the knees, bring the hands up and away from the body as we come up into our mountain pose. With a slight back bend. Exhale, softening the knees, hands come away from the body into our forward fold. Beautiful. From here, inhale, place both hands on the ground and step both feet back into our high plank. Ensuring we're pressing through all 5 points of the fingers, engaging to the pelvic floor. Exhale, lower the knees down towards the mat. Inhale, pressing our body weight forward. Slowly bringing our elbows in towards the body as we come all the way down to the floor. Beautiful. Exhale. Inhale, coming into our regress cobra now. So squeeze the shoulder blades together, planting the hands just in front of the body. Forearms are on the mat, and we're going to press the mat away from us as we slightly lift up, ensuring we're not putting pressure in our lower spine and we're squeezing through the shoulder blades. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale, draw shoulder blades down, squeeze, pushing the mat away from us. Coming into our cobra. Exhale to lower back down. One last here. Inhale, slowly raise up, squeeze the shoulder blades, point through the toes. Eyes are forward. Exhale to lower, placing the hands beside the chest, engaging through the pelvic floor, pressing up into the knees, and finding our downward dog. Drawing the knees into the chest. Beautiful. Inhale here, pressing the weight into the right foot, extending our left leg high. Exhale, we're going to bring the knee in towards the left elbow and hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, kick the left foot away. Exhale, drawing the left knee into the left elbow, hold, 3, squeeze, 2, 1. One last one here. Inhale, kick the foot away, pressing the chest into the knee. Exhale, drawing forward, 3, 2, 1. Following the left foot through into our low lunge, dropping the right knee down towards the ground. Crescent lunge, beautiful. Inhale, pressing up. Raising our hands towards the sky as we exhale, drawing the shoulder blades down and back. Inhale to extend, slight back bend here, ensuring we're scissoring both of the legs together to create strength in the thighs. As we exhale, come to our heart opener, squeezing through the shoulder blades, opening through the chest. Inhale to extend. Exhale, squeeze and open the heart. Beautiful. One more here. Deep breath in, reach up high. Exhale, squeeze and open through the heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale, lowering the hands back down towards the ground. Tucking the toe under and pressing our left foot back into our high plank, sinking back into our downward dog. Beautiful work, guys. Taking a deep breath here. Ensuring you're pressing through all 5 points of the fingers. Eyes are at the toes. Creating separation between the shoulder blades. Bending the knees if we need to. And pressing our hips high to the sky. Last breath here. Let's press weight into the left side. Inhale, raising our right leg high. Exhale, bringing the knee in towards elbow. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, kicking the leg back. Exhale, drawing forward. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Last breath here. Inhale, kick back. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Bring that right leg in to our low crescent lunge, lowering the left leg down towards the ground. Inhale, raising the hands up. Exhale, sinking the hips down into the body. Beautiful. Inhale to reach, coming into our heart openers. Exhale, opening up through the chest. Squeezing those elbows down. Inhale to reach up high. Exhale, opening through the chest. Last one here, inhale. Exhale, opening up through the chest. Beautiful. Inhale to open. Exhale, lowering the hands down, tucking the back toe under, pressing up into our high lunge and finding our high plank, coming into our downward facing dog. Taking a few deep breaths here, finding our stillness, and remember at any time we can come back down into our child's pose. Beautiful. One last breath here. On our next inhale, we're going to raise the left leg up, pressing through the right foot. As we exhale, drawing the left foot down into our low lunge, or if we'd like to create some strength today or some heat in today's practice, keeping ourselves high into our high lunge and using the strength of our thighs or our hands to come up into our high lunge. Beautiful. Breathing in deeply into the belly. Creating strength in the front thigh, ensuring that the heel is directly underneath the front knee. Straightening out the back thigh, up on our toe. Regress version is hands to the heart. We're just opening up our fingertips, ensuring our hips are square to the front of the room. One last breath here. As we exhale, slowly twisting our back foot to a 45-degree angle, we're going to put the tension on the outside of the foot into our warrior two pose. Ensuring that we're pressing through all 4 points of the front foot, the big toe, the pinky, and the heel. Creating strength and heat in the body. Noticing where our breath and mind are. Bring our awareness to the front middle finger as we reach forward with our hands and extend back with our back middle finger. One last breath here. On the next inhale, we're going to turn the front of the palm facing up, slightly leaning back and placing our back hand softly on the back knee if we can, opening up into our reverse warrior, ensuring we're not putting tension on the back knee. We want to be reaching up and back. Slight bend, creating length through the side body. Deep breath here into the belly. On our next exhale, we're going to come back up into our warrior two. Deep breath in here as we exhale, we're going to step our right leg forward, meeting beside the left foot. And if we can, we're going to bring our hands to our heart center, balancing on the left foot if we can, or slightly touching the toe down to the ground to support our balance this morning. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to slowly hinge the hips back into our warrior three pose. If we have an item beside us that we can balance on, perfect. Just going down as low as we feel we can, kicking the right leg up as high as possible. Breathing in deeply, finding our center, finding our balance. If we'd like to progress this, we can bring the hands out to the side of the body. Warrior three. Finding strength, finding balance. One last breath here. Inhale, slowly bringing our leg back up into mountain pose. Hands down to the heart center. Lowering both feet down to the ground now, shaking out the left leg. Inhale, bringing the hands up towards the sky. As we exhale, bending at the knees, hinging back at the hips, coming into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lowering both hands towards the ground, stepping back into our plank. Coming into our high or low plank here. Inhale, pressing all shoulders away from us, creating a slight curve in our upper body. As we exhale, lower down or staying in a high plank, pushing our body weight forward, coming into our chaturanga. Squeezing the elbows together, dropping to the knees if we need to, or inhale, pressing up into our upward facing dog. Squeezing through the backs, or our regression is our cobra. As we exhale, rolling up onto the toes, stepping one foot over at a time, coming into our downward dog. Beautiful work, guys. Taking a deep breath here, then we can come down to our child's pose at any time. Onto the other side. Inhale, raising the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, drawing the right leg forward, coming into our lunge. And the regression is low lunge, knee to the ground, or us pressing up firmly with strength into our high lunge. Ensuring the right leg is directly underneath the right knee, bringing the hands to the heart center for our regression. Creating strength in both the thighs, drawing the right thigh in towards the hip, ensuring the left hip is square towards the wall in front of us. One last breath here. And as we exhale, twisting onto the back foot, 45-degree angle warrior two pose. Beautiful. So to regress our warrior two, if we need to, we can shorten the distance between both of our feet. Okay, to regress, create our feet further away from each other. Breathing deeply here, reaching through the fingers. Finding stillness in our breath. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing any tension in the neck. One last breath here, we're going to open up the front hand towards the ceiling. As we exhale, slightly leaning back, placing the left hand on the knee, coming into our reverse warrior. Inhale to reach up, exhale, stretching back. And creating that strength, leaning down into the front right thigh. Last breath here. As we exhale, circling our hands back into warrior two. Inhale, exhale, slowly coming up into our mountain pose. Hovering the left thigh if we can, just off the ground. Hands at the heart center. Touching the toe down if we need to. On the next exhale, we're going to slowly start to hinge our hips forward. Coming into our warrior three. Finding our stillness, our balance this morning. If we'd like to advance our practice, opening up into spreading the hands away from the chest. Breathing in, finding that stillness with the breath. Keeping the back leg straight. One last breath here. As we exhale, slowly raising up into our mountain pose. Beautiful, finding our hands at our heart center. Finding stillness in the breath. Inhale, raising the hands up towards the ceiling. If we can, straighten our hands. As we exhale, bending the knees, shifting the hips back, coming down to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift here. Exhale, placing both hands down towards the ground. Stepping back into our high plank. Coming to our final chaturanga for this morning, starting from the high or the low. Inhale, finding our strength, pressing forward. Exhale, hug the elbows in towards the ribs. Inhale, pressing up into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, slowly shifting back into child's pose or downward dog. One last breath here. As we exhale, lowering the knees down towards the ground, allowing the hips to sink back and into our child's pose. Finding stillness with the breath. Noticing how the body is feeling. We may be experiencing some heat. Allowing the breath to start to slow down as we breathe in deeply into the belly, noticing the belly raise against the thighs. And as we exhale, allowing the body to start to soften into the hips. Walking the fingers out, creating flexibility underneath the arms as we draw the shoulders down into the back of the hip sockets. Beautiful. 3 more breaths here. Last one. And next exhale, slowly allowing our body to come forward. Coming down onto our hips. And coming to the middle of the mat. Sitting up on the tops of your feet. Otherwise, if this is creating a little bit of pain or discomfort in your feet, pointing your toes and allowing your hips to sink down into your heels. Beautiful. Inhale, finding your breath. Opening up through the chest. As we exhale, we're going to place the left arm over the top of the right arm as far as we can. Twisting the arms around each other. Depending on our flexibility, we're going to bring the hands together at the front of the body, or else we may only be in this position here, which is perfect. Once we've found our grip, we're going to slowly raise the hands up in front of the eyes and creating separation between the shoulder blades, so pulling the hands slightly away from us. Holding in this pose, I'm going to show you one more time. So opening, bring the left hand over the right, allowing the hands to twist, bringing our hands together at the front if we can, if our flexibility allows us to. If not, this is perfect. We're exactly where we need to be in our practice. So holding here deeply, we're going to close down our eyes. Inhale, slightly raising the hands up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're imagining someone is pulling the shoulder blades very gently away from each other. So we're creating a nice stretch all around the back of the fascia, the rhomboids, the back of the scapulas, the shoulders, the back of the neck. Beautiful. One last breath here. Inhale as we exhale, just envisioning all the fascia around the backs of the shoulder blades start to release. Our next inhale, we're going to slowly untwist the arms. Open up the heart, shake the arms out slightly. Beautiful. Bring the hands down towards the ground. If we need to, untuck the toes, massage out the feet, massage out the fascia, give the toes some love, the back of the feet. And then we can either stay sitting on our heels or else we can open up the fascia and the feet just a little bit more to the other side. Beautiful. Again, inhale, opening out to the chest. This time our right hand is coming over our left. Twisting the arms around until we find where we're at in our practice with our flexibility this morning. Beautiful. Closing down the eyes. And let's just ensure that our shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. We're nice and straight through our spine and our posture. And breathing in slightly open, allowing the hands to come up in front of the eye, and exhale, pull the arms away from us gently with ease, opening up through the backs of the shoulders. This may be quite uncomfortable for some of us. We tend to have a lot of knots live underneath the shoulder blades, depending on what our posture is like during the day. This is great at opening up through the back of the neck. Beautiful. One last breath here. As we exhale, untwist the arms, opening up to the chest, giving the arms a shake, and coming down into our hands, just massaging out the feet. Beautiful. And to complement this, we're going to come into a soft heart opener. So we've just contracted our chest forward, and now we want to open up to the chest. So again, we can either stay on our feet, heels, touching the glutes, or else we can come back up one last time to sit on our feet, choosing what feels best for our practice. Just closing down the eyes, we're going to magnetize both of the hands together at the back of the body, opening up through the chest. And if we can, squeezing the hands together, squeezing the elbows, allowing for that deeper chest stretch. If not, imagining there is a magnet between both of the palms of the hands. And on every exhale, we're allowing that magnet to strengthen as it pulls both of the hands together. Ensuring that we're not arching through the lower spine here, so we're keeping that strong posture, neutral spine. One last breath here, inhale. Exhale, allowing the hands to pull down softly towards the floor. On the next inhale, slowly allowing the hands to pull away from each other, coming back down into the mat, giving the feet one last massage. Beautiful work, guys. We're doing great. So let's twist our legs around. We're going to slowly make our way down towards our seated position, coming just slightly to the front of the mat. Holding the knees into the chest, just ensuring nothing is behind us as we slowly roll our spine down. Beautiful. So we're going to do a couple of stretches now just to allow us to open up through the hips, outside of the hips. So from this position, we're going to bring our left leg over the top of the right knee, ensuring our left heel is sitting on top of the right knee. We can either stay in this position here, or else we can bring our hands through the loops of our legs, bringing our right knee towards the chest. And as we exhale gently, using the control of our body or slightly with our left hand, we can push the left knee away. Now with this pose, it's very important that we're allowing our spine to stay neutral. A lot of us, when we do this, we can tuck the tailbone up off the ground. So we just want to be ensuring that our tailbone is still placed down on the mat, regressing the pose where we need to allow this to happen. Closing down the eyes now, and just breathing in, creating a nice soft breath into the belly. And on every exhale, bringing our awareness to where we may be experiencing some tension and tightness in the body. For this pose, it's generally on the outside of the left hip. What we can do, and I invite as well, is to flex the left foot, which allows our knee to become protected as well. Finding a few more deep breaths here. And just bring our awareness into our breath. Noticing where our minds may be wandering off. And what I love about yoga is how we show up on our mat is generally a reflection for how we're showing up in our life. So if we're noticing that our mind tends to wander, just noticing that, bringing awareness to the thoughts, and just gently returning back to our breath. And just knowing that this practice in itself, when we bringing this awareness to our yoga mat. We'll have a direct reflection back into how quickly we can return back to presence in our life. One last breath here. As we exhale, we're going to bring the left leg all the way over the right knee now. And if we can, with both of our hands, we're going to bring the hands to both of the feet, pulling the feet away. My flexibility isn't too good this morning, so what we can do is bring both of the hands into the knees, and the knees to come to the chest, and creating strength through the feet as we pull the feet away from each other. And this is just going to allow us to work into our right hip now. So keeping a nice neutral spine, both of the legs are cross-straight, we're slightly pulling the knees into the chest as we push both of the feet away from each other and raising both the feet slightly up off the floor. Beautiful. One last breath here as we exhale, allowing the legs to soften in just a little bit more towards the chest. And on our next inhale, we're just going to slowly lower the right leg down towards the ground. Untwist the legs and just allowing both the legs now to straighten out, allowing the blood flow to return back to the full body. Beautiful. Coming into our other side now. So bringing both feet flat on the floor, we're going to bring our right heel onto our left knee, either staying in this pose or else raising our left knee up towards our chest, looping our hands through, coming into our, stretching out our right hip now. Flexing our right foot, closing down our eyes, and just noticing which side may be slightly tighter. Again, bringing our awareness to our breath. And on every exhale, just giving our right knee permission to slightly press away from our chest. Noticing if our shoulders are tense. Just allowing our chest and our shoulders and our neck to relax. Beautiful. Finding 3 more deep breaths here. Inhaling into the tightness that we're feeling in our body. As we exhale, just envisioning the fascia, which is like a little cobweb around the muscles starting to release and let go. One last breath here. As we exhale, crossing the right leg all the way over the top of the left. Bringing both the hands on top of both knees and slightly bringing them towards the chest. And now we're going to push both of the feet away from each other and slightly lift them up a couple of centimeters. Beautiful. On the next inhale, bringing the knees to the chest just slightly if we can. Closing down the eyes. Just allowing the outside of our hips to start to soften. And bringing our awareness to our mantra and our attention for our practice this morning. I am love. And every inhale, breathing in the sensations and the feelings that love gives to our body. And exhale, breathing out gratitude for having an able body this morning to be able to take you through this yoga practice. One last breath here as we exhale, slowly lowering the left leg down towards the floor, untwisting the legs. And coming down into our Shavasana pose, our corpse pose. Just finding comfort, moving our body in any way that we may need to allow ourselves to soften. Closing down the eyes now. Hands are facing up towards the ceiling. And just noticing how our body is feeling. Bringing our awareness now into our breath. Taking a nice deep Soft inhalation through the nose, filling up the belly, and exhaling through the nose or the mouth, whichever is desired. And just allowing our body to start to soften even further on every exhale. Noticing how the feet and the toes start to relax. Allowing all the muscles around the shins and the thighs to just let go. The knees, the hips. And our exhale, giving our body permission to relax even deeper. As we breathe into our belly, all the muscles around the stomach, the back, the shoulders, letting go, softening with every breath. Feeling the muscles around the face, the cheek, unlocking the jaw and the tongue, softening. Finding stillness. And carrying on from what I was speaking into earlier, just noticing any thoughts that may come up in our mind. And simply becoming the observer. Noticing when these thoughts may pop up. We can place them in a beautiful fluffy cloud. And as we inhale, becoming the observer. And as we exhale, just noticing the cloud drift away as we return back to our breath. As we find our breath, taking a deep inhalation into the belly, as deep as we can, and just holding slightly at the top. And then 3, 2, 1, a nice long exhale. And again, inhale, bringing the awareness back into our body. And exhale. Just starting to bring movement back into the fingers, ever so slightly. Bringing our awareness back into the room. Noises that we may hear around us. Starting to wiggle our toes. And we can stretch our arms out above us if that is a desire. Open it up through the chest. And keeping our eyes closed now, we're going to slowly make our way onto the right side of the body. Remaining with our eyes closed, just slowly coming back up into a seated position. And just noticing how our body is feeling. Placing our hands on our heart. Breathing deeply into the mantra, I am love. And just noticing how we're feeling. Maybe feeling bliss, the yogi high. There could be some sadness and anxiousness present in the body. Just know that it's all welcome. Bring our hands into a prayer position. Thank you from my heart to yours for allowing yourself to choose you, for showing up to your yoga practice. And holding this intention, this mantra throughout your day. Namaste. Thank you.